As there are no questions, which could mean people understand directly from the presentation what's going on. At the same time, the time was not long enough to go into details. So I would like to ask presenters one simple question. To select one or two the most, let's say, limiting barriers to the transition, and explain a little bit more why they are so limiting or so important. Andrea, could you start?
So sorry, could I be at the second part because I didn't catch the beginning of the question. Sorry for that. So
okay.
Next, Amber, sorry.
No problem. Andis, may I ask you?
Yes, I think it's from our presentations. It's obviously it's very hard to pick one key factor that's the barrier. But like from the Latvian case study side, I would have to say it's almost the demand side which needs strengthening, because the Latvian dairy farmers have very actively transitioned to more sustainable farming practices, adopted organic farming practices, but there has been very limited initiatives on the demand side to encourage uptake of all the products, the milk, the dairy milk that is produced and processed on in organic dairies. There's an oversupply of the milk, so in fact, part of the EU CAP support payment has worked quite well. The farmers have performed better environmentally, but in order to continue that advancement, there needs to be much greater support on the for the demand, and there need to be some key instruments implemented. I would say at the national level and with support from the EU level.
Okay, thank you. There've been meanwhile a question which was quite easy, so I can just I put it on the chat. The question was whether the knowledge hub will be available also to other countries than EU. So the answer, yes, it's broadly available. So the same questions to David, please. Let's say the most limiting barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, the main issue with biogas, especially in Finland, but this is a global phenomenon, is that part of the technology is not yet proven at a scale that is attractive for investors. And when we're talking in Finland about the certain policy, it guides towards biofuel production. So it's very difficult to include nutrient valorization in the discussion, in the conversation. So I think the key here is to try to understand the benefits of nutrient valorization and how it can improve the farming in a more organic way. However, for now, the most proven technology and most marketable product is biofuels. And in the liquefied version, you can use it for heavy duty vehicles, even ships. And it's an ongoing discussion, which the co-construction taught us that biofuel now is what it's being bet on. So biogas is advancing, but we have to see to which level in the country.
Okay, thank you. And Gražvydas, please, the main pressing barrier and why.
Well, I think one of the certainly key barriers is the need for political will for this transition. And it's interesting that during our stakeholder workshops, we agreed really well on what should be done to improve the situation. And it's like stakeholders understand and think the same way, but somehow it needs to translate into action, to incentivize the transition. And this could be done maybe through measures, through, I don't know, political direction and definitely multi-actor engagement is needed and really should translate into real action.
Okay. And Andrea?
So I try if can I think about the main barrier to implement the COCOS strategies proposed. So I think that it's not finally the economic barrier as mentioned at the beginning in the Czech case study, but it's something like social or philosophical barriers for this farm, because they are large farm, not a family farm in our case, and the not lack of the cooperation. I think that the farm already see the value of cooperation, but now we are in some critical zone how to start and skip the gap in the knowledge how to do that. The farm would like to go to the market and solve it, but they are not able to cooperate on the basic issues like sharing some new technology information. So we will go a little bit back and start to build the network, the methodology, how to cooperate, how to inform each others, and maybe in the longer time, we'll be able to go and make strategic action on the market. So I'm not sure if I describe it, but it's more social philosophic barrier. And we probably are lucky in the Czech the train advisors or some local facilitators to put the people together. But good is that they would like.
Yeah, I can add, if you are okay with that, a little bit, because I was part of it also. So in sense of the technology and the quite large scale of production, they are quite okay. But to make a further step to be really resilient or able to survive changes or market, etc., they need to make several steps, which could be very difficult to everybody would like to do it. So they already have a cooperative, but despite the 1 century of experience of good cooperation between mid-19th century and mid-20th, after the 50 years of communism, they actually started to hate cooperation. And even they've been able to agree that the next step, we need to come together and agree together on the next steps. They have a difficulties to overcome this attitude which have been built for over the 50 years. And so finally, when we asked them, so, okay, now we know what to do, who should start? They started to say, we started to have a cooperative for different reasons. Well, maybe somebody else should start it. So it was, as you said it, but I just add a little bit of a story to that, so to explain what was behind. But it's quite common in countries with those 50 years of communism. They vary, but still not, when we compare it with the old member states, still there is a big gap in trust and etc. So, okay, so we ran into the end of the session. So thank you all of you presenters, and thanks to one question in chat. And we will meet in a half an hour, if I remember well. So see you later.
See you later.
Thanks. Bye.